Welcome to my YouTube channel, and my name is Zaheerah. Today we are at Ferrari. Welcome. This is Chanelle Saki, the National Marketing Director at Ferrari South Africa. Welcome, Chanelle.
Thank you, Zaheerah. Thank you for being here and for visiting us at the home of Ferrari in South Africa. It's a pleasure to have you here today, so thank you.
Okay, Chanelle, I have a few questions for you. How did you get to where you are today?
So it's a very long story, but I'm going to give you the summarized version. When I graduated in 2010 from the University of Johannesburg, I started looking for job opportunities, but to my dismay, nobody was hiring because even with a degree, no one wants to hire somebody without any experience in the industry. So to my dismay, I started out as a receptionist, so that's where my career began, right at the bottom, like most careers do. You know, it's one of those things that takes you by surprise. I really thought I was going to, be fortunate enough to land an amazing office job in my first job that I was seeking to find, but it didn't happen that way. So I was actually referred to as a glorified receptionist in my first job, because I had this fancy degree, but I couldn't do anything more with it because I had no experience to back it up. So I started out at a premium motor dealership in Sandton, and from there I got approached for a marketing assistant position at what was at the time known as Viglietti Motors. From there I was offered an amazing opportunity in the marketing department to grow and to pursue my marketing interests. So the rest is history. I've been with the company now with Scuderia South Africa for 9 years, so it's been an amazing journey of epic proportions. There's a lot of challenges, but it's been the most amazing and memorable experience so far. So, yeah.
What's the biggest factor that influenced you in becoming a successful woman?
Well, I'm very, very honored and humbled that you refer to me as a successful woman. But I think, to be honest, it's what was embedded and ingrained in me as a young child. My parents had taught me from a very young age to be driven, to be confident, and to be self-sufficient. And I think that those deeply rooted, values have lasted with me throughout my life. And I think that being able to pursue a career that you love all comes down to being confident and motivated and driven, to go after what you want. So I think that would be the most influential factor in that. So thank you.
Why is the color red so iconic at Ferrari?
So the color red, or rosso corsa, which is it translates to racing red in Italian, is the very lifeblood. It's the very essence of what Ferrari stands for. Red is in our DNA. It's the color that is symbolic of our racing heritage. It's the color that is basically representing our Formula One team. But it's also the color of the models that most of our customers choose. So it goes way back to Enzo's days, and Enzo himself said, ask a child to draw a Ferrari or draw a car, so I should say, and they would draw it red. Yeah. So the brand is represented by this color, and it goes back into our history. So it's really amazing.
Okay. What is your favorite Ferrari and why?
So my all-time favorite Ferrari would have to be the 458 Spider. But of late, I would definitely say the Ferrari Roma that we saw earlier is, as I said, the new heartthrob of the family. It's the new GT to arrive. It's by far the most timeless, elegant, and iconic model that I think that we have in the market at the moment. So love the Roma.
Have you experienced any difficulties in the motor industry or any car industry as a woman?
Yes, definitely. I get often asked this question, you know, as a woman in a male-dominant industry, and I think it's very common for women to feel disparaged, you know, and to feel a little bit demotivated. I certainly felt that when I started out, I had to work twice as hard to prove my worth and to prove my abilities in the industry. But you know, I've had an amazing support system since joining Ferrari South Africa, and both my COO and my CEO have been extremely supportive in the process. They've only encouraged me, and you know, they've empowered me to grow as a woman in this industry. So I'm very thankful to them. But it's as I said, it's very common, you know, that women do feel sometimes intimidated.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to look past that and understand that your knowledge will go very far, you know, just with a bit of perseverance and a little bit of ability to endure through the tough times.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Who inspires you?
I love this question. So generally speaking, I would say my mom, because she really does. But women in general inspire me. I'm so moved and I'm so inspired by women's ability, and women in general by the ability to multitask and to take on so much. You know, working women, moms, I'm completely in utter awe of them. You know, they manage to juggle work-life careers. They manage to, you know, they get up early, they go to bed late, and sometimes it's so unappreciated, and people take for granted what a woman has to go through in a day. You know, and not to say, as I said, you know, with all due respect to men, they go through as much equally, but a woman's strength is so gracefully, you know, put that women across the board just really do inspire me, because they take on so much more than they can chew often, and they do it with a smile on their face, and that's really what inspires me.
Okay, do you have a crazy car story, or have you heard any crazy car story?
Okay, this was a very interesting one, and I've never actually shared this story, so this is quite interesting. So I don't know of any crazy car stories, although you hear about them often, but I experienced a crazy car story when I was at the company, and it goes back to doing a photo shoot with my favorite car, the 458 Spider.
Yeah.
Several years ago, we had a team that we were commissioned to do a photo shoot for Ferrari HQ, and the car was covered with a designation plate for photo shoot purposes, and I was driving the vehicle back to the showroom one morning, and I got arrested by cops for defeating the ends of justice. So to my dismay, they wanted to impound the car, and they wanted to basically lock me up, which I was traumatized about, and I phoned my bosses, I phoned all the managers. They had to come and explain the story, but it was a big miscommunication that the vehicle had basically had the wrong number plate, or it had covered the number plate with the brand's designation plate. So very crazy story. As I said, at least it's off my bucket list now.
Yes.
That's definitely a crazy story.
Name any accomplishment you weren't sure you could achieve, big or small.
So this question was really interesting. An accomplishment that I didn't think I was capable of achieving would definitely have to be the Testarossa Awards that I competed in 2018. Marketing managers from across the globe get assessments, and they get criteria that they are judged on based on their know-how and their expertise. And I didn't think that I had enough knowledge or expertise to surpass the likes of the bigger markets like America and China and Switzerland and Australia. So I was really intimidated, and I had no clue that I had what it took to win the title of Testarossa Marketing Manager of the Year. As I said, with endurance and by pushing through, and obviously, persisting in excellence, you achieve things that blow your mind sometimes. Wow. That would definitely be one of them.
Okay. Again, what's the best thing about your job?
The best thing about my job, I would have to say, are the people. And although we work amongst these revolutionary vehicles, we are a family here at Ferrari, and there's a very strong sense of belonging. We all help each other. There's a saying that goes, teamwork makes the dream work. We all look out for each other. We all make sure that we help each other wherever tasks get a little bit too heavy for one person to handle.
So this is one of the questions I left for last because it was really touching for me, and I really wanted to know your answer. What is the best advice you can give young women of today?
The best advice I can give young women of today would definitely have to be that one should work hard and don't be afraid of humble beginnings. You know, I think that in life we all have these preconceived ideas as to how our careers will map out, how our life will map out, but you have to have faith and trust the process, you know, even if it means starting a career that you love or something that you are passionate about from the bottom. You know, we all have to start somewhere. It doesn't always get handed to us on a silver platter and work out the way we imagined it to be. But you should just be persistent and keep focusing on the end goal. You know, like I said, life is full of challenges and there's always going to be obstacles in the way. But be persistent, keep delivering excellence, and do everything with passion.
Thank you so much, Chanelle Zaki, for having us today in your showroom, making noise and looking at all the lovely cars. Thank you so much.
Button first. Of course, the radio comes on. And then it's touchscreen. Here we go. Now push your foot on the brake. Yeah, push it all the way in. Push, push, push. And then press engine start. How cool is that?
Wow.